Yeah. Turn the lights up. Turn the mics on. Welcome to SFL Nights. Football, yeah, the whole league crowd. From kickoff dreams to the final drive. Every story told when the spotlight arrives. Breaking down games, fucking wins and takes. Big time moments, clutch time breaks. From rookies to vets, everybody relate. If you live in SFL, then you're tuned in today. Highlights rolling, hot takes cooking. Behind the scenes while the league keeps moving. From game blends big to laugh forgets. AJ bring the energy, she bring the bets. SFL Nights with AJ Striker. Turn it on loud. Primetime vibes and competitive fire. He league-wide chatter. It's SFL life that don't get better. Draft day hopes and playoff runs like a boom stories. Buzzer beater wins, breaking down dives, calling big-time plays every episode. Got that game day hate, trying new flavors, rating the bites. Food on the table with league insight. Owners of players all sharing the mic. Every cowboy real every single night. For real moon, talking fear and reactions. League-wide love with real connections. If you bid in SFL, you already family. It's more than a podcast, it's community. SFL Nights with AJ Striker. Turn it up loud. Go higher and higher. Football talk. Till food so fire. Guest in the building, whole league inspires. SFL Nights with AJ Striker. Primetime vibes and competitive fights. And league-wide chatter. It's SFL life that don't get better. Mic checks, Benny, cameras roll, every story matter, every voice go, from coast to coast, every squad unite, SFL family every night. SFL Nights with AJ Striker. SFL Nights with AJ Striker. SFL Nights. Yeah. Turn the lights on. Yeah. Turn the mics on. Yeah, turn the lights up, turn the mics on. Welcome to SFL Nights.
What is up? What is up? What is up, SFL Nation? And welcome back to SFL Nights with AJ Striker. Thank you so much for joining me today or tonight or whenever you decided to hit that play button or turn on that radio dial. I really appreciate it, y'all. It has been a minute since I've seen you. Had some things going on in real life. I also wanted to make sure I made time for my guests and tried to accompany or accommodate their schedules, I should say. So we're here now, and it is championship time, guys. It's that time of year. I feel like this whole season just went by so fast. But I am fortunate enough to be able to talk to representatives from both teams this evening. I'm going to have Miss Ellie Diomez here. I'm going to have Mr. Casper Haddock on the scene, as well as Mr. Andy Hamilton with me this evening. I am going to do things a little bit different. Ellie, I'm going to put you last because we're going to be talking about SFLM and we're going to be talking about some other things. So I'm going to get the guys first because, we'll get them out the way. And then it'd be me, okay? I'll see you in a bit. Thank y'all for being here. All right, so first things first. We have to talk about the semifinal games that took place. I mean, if you did not get a chance to check out those games, please go visit simfl.net. You can get the box scores, all of that, the breakdowns of the game, or you can just go watch the game on VFN on YouTube. So, again, if you didn't get a chance to see any of these games, check it out for yourself. I do have a little bit of a breakdown for you guys. First of all, I have to give props to where it's due. First on the scene was Robert Henson. What's going on, honey? And you like my hair? Thank you, honey, because I'll tell you what, secret is it's hot as hell outside. And I just braided all of it up. It's all my hair. Put them things in some fat braids and call it a day. I watched every heart racing minute. Hey, and we're gonna talk about that, man. That was all right. So first of all, I do have Andy in the building, and I did ask him why did they do Birmingham the way that they did. Let me explain. So Birmingham Hellhounds took on the Vancouver Legion, and it was total domination station. Vancouver wins 62-10. Birmingham scored 7 points in the first quarter, 3 points in the second quarter, and nothing else. They had 188 yards passing, but only 57 yards rushing. I mean, dang, bro, they couldn't even get the ball. No speed on the ground, nothing. 245 yards total offensive yards. Time of possession was only 12 minutes, 23 seconds, 3 turnovers. They made 4 third down conversions of the 8 they attempted. Meanwhile, on the other side of the ball, Vancouver scored 14 points in the first quarter, 17 points in the second quarter, 14 points in the third quarter, and another 17 points in the fourth quarter. I mean, y'all just field goal kicker wasn't available. Y'all just had to keep scoring touchdowns. All right. So they also had 207 yards passing, 264 yards on the ground, 471 yards total of offense. Held the ball for 27 minutes and 37 seconds with no mistakes. Made 12 third downs of the 15 that they attempted. Final thoughts on that game. It happens. Like from Birmingham, they were absolutely a phenomenal team all season long. Iron sharpens iron, though, so I know that they're going to come back next season stronger than they are. But Vancouver does this, so I can't say that I'm super surprised that happened the way it did. They could score. They've scored 72. And Andy, let me know when you come up. I think it was even 74 points in one game, I think. So they have the potential to score on you if you're not careful, and they can do it in the air or on the ground. So Detroit better be ready. Speaking of Detroit Maulers beats Mexico City, former champions, 34-27. Detroit scored 7 points in the first quarter, 14 in the second quarter, 7 in the third, 6 in the fourth. They had 218 yards passing, 119 yards rushing for 337 yards total offense. Converted 6 third downs of the 16 that they attempted. Time of possession, no, that's wrong. No, that's got to be wrong. I think I got that mixed up with Mexico City, actually. I'll double check that. But they only had the ball for 9 minutes and 40 seconds with no mistakes. Mexico City, or it should be Detroit, scored 14 in the first quarter, 7 points in the second quarter, 3 points in the third and fourth quarters. They had 300. Yep, this is Detroit. 369 yards passing, 28 yards rushing, 397 yards total, converted 7 third downs of the 13 that they attempted. Time of possession, 19 minutes, 50 seconds. Final thoughts on these games. You have to have the ball. You have to try your best to play as perfect as a game as you can. And I've seen Vancouver. That's pretty much as good as it's going to get. You got both sides involved heavily. You were able to score a lot of points fast and consistently. Sight was slinging. Casper, thank you for letting me know. Miss Mexico City, right? That's what I was thinking. I was like, I think I got the things mixed up. But yeah, Sight was doing his best, But when you got a defense, and it's like 45 Casper, we're gonna talk about that, and Ellie, we're gonna talk about that. Like 45 coaches over there, what can you do? Hey, this is going to be a really good game. So that actually brings me to my pick. Championship pick. So my thoughts are this. Detroit has been firing on all cylinders all season long. I mean, they're 10-2, on the season. 2 losses, and I'm sure if things would have went a little bit differently, I'm sure those losses probably would have went the other way. Vancouver has tried and tested. They're the current champions. They've been down this road many, many times, and I'm not sure if they're going to be blinded by the lights, if you know what I mean. So, oh Lord, this is so hard though, because Detroit does have a lot of help. They have a lot of eyes. They run a lot of sims, but I know Andy too. Andy and Mark and those guys, Brett over there. They are. Ooh. Oh man, I got 11 comments in the chat. I tell you what, I'm gonna make my final pick at the end of the show. Gonna have to wait for it. I know. That was so wrong. I know. But yeah, y'all gonna have to wait for it. Let me see comments. Bite back. Fight Pharaoh. Oh my God. We forgive you, AJ. Yeah, we run a lot of sims. Yeah, I know you do. I know you do now. I don't know how the sims are faring right now, but do they really matter? Because you can put whatever you want and whatever you think that works. But when it's game day, sometimes you see things that you didn't even see. So I don't know. Good luck to y'all both. And I will let everybody know who I choose at the end of the show. I thought I was ready, but I'm back and forth. Like, this is the closest I think I've ever been. Oh my God. There we go. And you guys run sims? Yeah, they do. Andy, it's about 12 of them over there. Of course they do. All right. On to one of my favorite parts that I have introduced into the show before I bring my guests up this evening. And that is SFL Kitchens. So, SFL Kitchens tonight, I'm doing mini Philly cheesesteaks. So I just took some thinly sliced beef. Now I use steakums. I don't know about y'all pocketbooks, but thinly sliced actual ribeye costs the grip right now. I don't have it. So we got some steakums, and I seasoned the bad boys up really nicely. Got me some provolone cheese to go on the top, nice melted, and I'm serving it on a hot dog bun. So if you do want to have this for the game, it's really easy, really convenient. I mean, a hoagie roll, of course, is awesome, right? But I find these, you can make a whole bunch of them. Have your friends just make their own plates. They go grab 1 or 2 or 3, however they do it. And good stuff. So again, steak, cheese only, seasonings for the meat, and bread. And a lot of times that's all you need. I know, where's the sauce? You don't need it if you cook it right. So I made the Philadelphia Cougar Philly cheese mini steaks because Philadelphia has now entered into the major leagues of the SFL. I wanted to feature every team, and I wanted to prepare either a dish or a drink for them. So this is my dedication to the Philadelphia Cougars. Give me 2 minutes. We'll be right back, okay?
Piece of me, piece of mine, took some time. I'm just reaping what I saw for sure. Brand new road, that's just for me and my boy. Keep secure, 4x4, G6 sleep up on my hands. I'm no friend, pay for keys, can't pay for saving me. In the back when the windows 10, yeah, cause they know tonight. Yeah, I know too much. Tryna come take on me. And my 40 they don't miss. They ain't even thought this far. This ain't no question, yeah. Just like I know. Made room for you. You got me off for thought. You had no place to trust. Just like you told. Just like we roll. Now we would barely trust. Now there's no saving us. Piece of me, piece of mine. Took some time. I'm just reaping what I saw. So for sure, brand new hope. That's just for me and my bone. Keep secure for the fall. G6 sleep up on my hands. I'm no friend, I'm no friend. Play for keys, can't play for 10.
Play for keeps, you play to win. What is up? We are back, everybody, with part one of my interviews for this evening. I have Mr. Andy Hamilton, team owner of the Vancouver Legion, as well as head coach.
Offensive, for Andy.
Offensive coach for Andy. There he is. There he is.
I'm on the defense. I got defense this year.
Okay, switching it up. See, you don't know what to prepare for. See, there you go. And then I have Mr. Casper Haddock on the scene as well, offensive coordinator for the Detroit Maulers. What's going on, man? How y'all doing this evening?
I'm doing pretty good. It's a pleasure and a privilege to be here. First time on the show. I got to rep the Maulers and my beloved Queen City Corsairs. Ryan
Yes,
Davis
sir.
knows I'll never forgive him for what he did. No, just kidding.
Oh.
I love Ryan.
Off the rip. Aggressive.
I know, right? Well, you know, it's that championship time. You know, so you got to be aggressive, right? So, gentlemen, first of all, congratulations. Ellie, I got you too, boo. Congratulations on this achievement. Of course, you know, Andy's back in the saddle again, try to win another ring as if one wasn't enough. And then we got Casper and company wanted to win their very, very first title. So I want to know from both of you, Casper, I'm going to start with you first. How important is winning this title for you and Detroit?
Right off the rip, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty important. I can't necessarily speak for everyone because, I mean, we have a kind of a variety of experience inside the locker room. You know, I'm sure T-Pat would love to add another ring to his very blinged out hands, but I don't know how he'd be able to. I don't know how he'd be able to work at that point. You know, too much jewelry on the hands. But for me personally, I think it would be a very rewarding journey just because of how I've kind of gone on through the seasons in the league. You know, going from a winless season to winning a championship, I think would be a pretty good story. So for me, it would be very nice. I definitely know I'm probably stressing more than most people. Hopefully it doesn't come through on the show, but I'm very tired because I've been up late nights for this whole week.
I can imagine, because you got to get it right. This is the final game, man. You
Yeah.
worked your whole season just for this moment. So, Andy, what about you? Why is this important for you to win another one?
I mean, they're all important, right? Every opportunity to put the team on the field is a great one, right? And in the SFL, you don't take any opportunity for granted. There's so many years where I've had so many teams in this league that are, you know, championship quality that didn't even get to this game, right? And so this team is no different. We're championship quality. We're ready to hoist that trophy, and so our job as coordinators and coaches is to put our team in the best opportunity for them to do so. And, when you're in that seat, when you're in this game, right, we're lucky enough to have done it now for the third year in a row. You don't take any opportunity for granted, and you have to go get it while it's there, because the SFL is such an interesting league. Every player has the opportunity every year to go to a different team, and we're very good at retaining our players, but that doesn't mean that we always will, and it doesn't mean that we don't have players that want to retire, right? Hang up the cleats, especially, while you're up on the top or near the top. And I think every opportunity to sit in this chair with an SFL championship on the line is a vital one. And to say that we had the opportunity to go back to back and do it back to back is big for us. I think that's something that is super exciting for us. There's not many SFL franchises that have ever done it. And to add our name to that after all the seasons of kind of grinding and trying to get where we're trying to go, it would mean a ton for us to do that. I just got word today that our rings from last year are ready to ship. And I'm hoping to keep the contact for Aldmiir very close to my heart and be able to send them a message very soon about another set of rings.
Okay, well, long. Right?
Well, see, you don't rush perfection, Casper. I know you think you could just stay up all night working on the playbook. Sometimes you gotta slow cook these things, right, AJ?
That's right, honey.
I'll stay up all night either way, personally. It doesn't affect me, but that's just how I live. I have terrible sleep, so it's my curse.
So you do understand that Andy, if you guys shouldn't win, right?
Mm-hmm.
You do understand that would have mean that you guys were taking on over my show for a second. So
yeah.
So that means that in turn, I actually get a ring. My ring size is 11, and you can
You want to buy one? I'll send you the link.
Oh no! Free. Come on, Andy. Come on. You the one with the big bucks, sir. You the one that's You got
well,
the big
you let me know where they are. I don't have any big bucks. wherever you know that I'm hiding them in this apartment, you let me know. I'll go dig them out for both of us.
I know that's right. I know that's right. So Vancouver finished the season 8-4, and Detroit finished the season 10-2. So out of those 4 games, Andy, and out of those 2 games, there was 2 losses. Which one of those games would you love to have back? If you could just run one of those games back, or all 4, or both of them, what was, in hindsight, what did you learn from those losses that got you here today? And I'll start with you first, Andy.
It's a good question. Honestly, I don't really pay attention after the game's over. I kind of move on to the next one. There's no interest in looking back, especially once you make it to kind of the situation you're in today, right? When you're sitting in the championship game, I don't think either of them any of the 4 make a huge difference. The only one that did sit with me this year was Los Angeles. We had Christian Brown go down on the first throw of the game. And at that point, it was kind of like the whole week of work that you didn't matter, right? Because your starting quarterback is out of the game. I turned it off after 2 more drives because it was like, what's the point, right? Because it's not like you're going to not throw any passes and still win the game. So that was a tough one to stomach just because, it really kind of was a game that all the work we had put in didn't really feel like it made a difference. The other ones, we're a team just like the SFL. Every game is a battle. And if you beat us, hats off to you, fair and square. Much respect. The regular season, luckily, you can't get knocked out of the playoffs on just one single loss. So now's the time where the losses matter. But in the regular season, it's fine. They're all learning experiences, right? We're just trying to stack wins and make it to the playoffs.
Oh, I know what it's like, Andy, to go down in the first quarter and, can't do anything else. First game of the, first game of the season. Okay.
That's tough. It sounds like you're still holding on to that loss. I clearly I've moved past the win. So
I'm holding on to it just a little bit.
Live and let live.
After y'all play this game, then I'll let it go. How about that?
All right. Fair enough.
Casper, what about you?
I mean, I feel like if I don't say Miami, I'm going to get yelled at. So
yeah,
I agree with Andy for the most part, though. I mean, at the end of the day, there's no real point in kind of sitting there looking back all the time and, thinking, oh, if I did this different, if I did this different. they're learning experiences, and I do look back at games to kind of learn and grow, because so much of my journey, especially this season, has just been about learning, and getting to be around people who are really kind of experts at this kind of stuff. But I think Miami, just because, personally, I think that was kind of one of the books that I had a pretty big hand in. So I think the personal responsibility still kind of tugs at my heart a little bit, but also just because I think it just felt like one of those games where, sometimes you're gambling and you win, and sometimes you're gambling and you lose the house and the car, the dog, the cat too. So it felt like one of those games where, it's just nothing was going right. And at the end of the day, I mean, you kind of want some of those back just to see if, maybe the luck of the dice would be a little bit different. But at the same time, I mean, I feel like when things go that poorly, you can kind of just shrug and say, on to the next one. And I think we've done a good job about keeping an even keel about, the losses don't bother us, and the wins don't really bother us much either. We're focused. As soon as we put in a book, we're working on next week's. As soon as we finish one week, we're wrapping up, we're looking at the next opponent, we're staying on an even keel and keeping our eyes on the target.
Okay. Let's go back to semifinal games. Andy, I mean, that was pretty much one of the best books I think I've seen against an opponent. I mean, you had both the ground and the air game going, time and possession was there. A lot of things fell, your way. And even with Detroit, being able to beat the former champions is a large feat. And you guys, as you told me before, iron sharpens iron, right? So let's go back to just those semifinal games and tell me what your thoughts were going into those games. And then what was your focus for those games? And I'll start with you first, Casper.
I mean, Mexico City is definitely a bit of a tough opponent, for sure. Certainly, I think we can all agree that if they're not in a dynasty period right now, then they're kind of on the verge of a dynasty period. They've been one of the best teams in the league for the last couple of seasons now. I think T-Pat made a very good point that they're so good at knowing exactly what they want every single player on their roster to be doing, and completely tailoring those builds to such a fine point that really, if it works for them, it all just kind of slots together like puzzle pieces. I think coming into the game, we knew that, they were going to have a very good offense. Jordan Sipe has definitely been one of the best quarterbacks in the league the last couple seasons, and we knew that they were going to get passing yards on us, which they did. And I think for us, it was an emphasis on making sure that we could win the turnover battle, making sure that we could run the ball better than they did, which I think we did a good job at doing. And then just trying to take our chances when we got them, and just not make the big mistakes that I think have kind of, in some ways, marked a lot of our games this season. We had a lot. I don't know the specific statistic, but I think it feels like we had like a first drive turnover like half the games this season. So just being able to avoid big mistakes and big momentum swings, I think, was the key for us, and we did that really well. Was really proud of the way the offense played out throughout that semifinal game. So I think that we just we had a good game. We executed really well. I mean, Mexico City, they were storming all throughout that game. It was never a settled affair. Like, I feel like the Minnesota game towards the end felt kind of settled, and then towards the end they started scoring points out of nowhere, which wasn't fun for my blood pressure. But for the most part, I think that it was a very tight game, and we just came out on top that day, and it means that we get to face off against Vancouver in the championship.
Gotcha. Andy, what about you, honey?
I probably don't have a super fun answer for the viewing audience, but, our goal every single week is to win by a single point. We would love to win by more, We will not accept winning by less. I don't think that's possible, but that's our goal, right? Is win by 1 point, and we won by 52 of them, and that's great. And I enjoy it, and it was nice to, to Casper's point, it was nice to not feel like we were at nerve of losing the game in the middle of the fourth quarter. But I could care less if it's by 70 points or if it's by one single point. The win is what is the most vital to us and our team. And that's really how we game plan too. We'll do weird stuff, right? As Casper probably is aware of, and his defensive coordinator is aware of. We'll run plays that not a lot of people will run. We'll run plays that we haven't ran all season if it's working. And we'll do whatever it takes. We'll put players in different spots. Our real goal is just to win the game. And our players take that to heart. When you sign up to play for Vancouver, it's not, hey, you're the wide receiver one. It's, hey, you're a wide receiver. And you might play running back sometimes, or you might play tight end, or you might play fullback if we want you to. And we're going to win the game. And if you want to win, this is where you play. And we have a lot of players who own that and who make that their identity, and they stick around here for seasons. And it's starting to pay off, right? I think there were a lot of seasons where we were a playoff team, and we're now a championship team that's kind of, I'm sure SFL Nation hates that we're a staple now for the third year in a row. And I'm sure we're getting some neutrals who are going to root against us just for that reason. And that's okay. Really, when we started in season 9, we were just trying to win one game. I'm sure I've told the story a million times where our first win, it took 5 weeks and we were 0-4 and the game went to double overtime and we won our first game on a safety. That was how we won our first game. And I was crying in my dorm room because it's so hard to win in this league. And it still is, right? One game is the hardest thing to win. And we're very blessed and lucky that we're able to win a lot more than one game a year now. But it's still, the goal is still the exact same. Just win one game by 1 point and then move on to the next week and try and win that game by 1 point. And if we just keep doing that, we'll never lose again, which I'm sure is not the truth, but you know what I mean.
Right. I know what you mean. So you both of you have coaching people that are vital to your coaching. And I ask Ellie this, and you guys will hear her answer on Saturday. But if you had to think of coaching as a pie circle, right? How is that pie divided, or how is that circle divided in responsibilities? How much of the pie is whom's responsibility? So I'm gonna start with you first, Andy. I know Casper probably need a minute because it's like about 12 of them, so we have to figure out.
I think most of the pie is apple. There might be a little blueberry in there, and maybe some cherry, but most of it's apple.
So 50% apple, and then you got 2/4. Okay.
Well, I percentage points are more of Mark's stature. No, I think, to answer the question, I think, it's easy to say that there's certain percentages for each person. And I think the harder part is, and Casper may try and steal this answer in a minute. If he does, I commend him. Each week, we just try and divvy it up so that the pie gets baked, right? Like, I think, it's hard to say that certain person owns a certain percentage each week, right? It's easier and it's more realistic to say that we all just try and bake the pie that's going to win us the game. And sometimes that means I'm, a larger percent. Sometimes it means Mark's a larger percent. Sometimes we're about 50-50. Sometimes Brett's hopping in there with advice. Sometimes Bear's hopping in there with advice. I don't like to put a number on it. I like to imagine that we're all just working towards trying to win, and doing whatever it takes to get there. And whatever we can do within our bandwidth on a weekly basis, I think is a more realistic thing that we've tried to approach this year a little bit better. I think a year or two and 2 years ago, it was very, I have to sim a certain number of games in a week to feel like I contributed. And this year there have been weeks where Mark says like, hey, I'm busy this week. Like, can you just handle this day? You know, can you handle Thursday? And I'll pop back in on Friday. And, you know, you can call it the ring kind of cooling us down a little bit, or you can call it kind of just us being a little bit more realistic about where we're at. I think it's more of the latter, right? Is that we're adults, we're human beings. We've worked at that. I mean, I sit in front of this computer for 4 or 5 days a week in the evenings after work. And I sit here I've probably dedicated at this point, maybe months of my life to watching these games just go. And I want to start living, man. I want to start living my life, and I want to be out there doing it. And sometimes I just need a night off. And, you know, our staff and our team, we do a really good job of trying to just take people as they are, right? We're not trying to make you take a certain percentage of the pie. We're just trying to, you know, hey, do you want to come bake pie with us? We'll figure out how much. We'll figure out what you do. We'll work on that later. But if you want to bake pie and you want to, you know, go to the championship and try and win, like, come on down.
I like that answer. Great answer. Casper? Uh-oh. You gonna take it?
Let's say a third strawberry rhubarb, a third boysenberry, and a third key lime. I'm a key lime guy. I know if you actually put those together in a pie, it would be an unholy creation. But
I was gonna say,
in the realm of imagination, it sounds good. So, yeah, Andy just sandbagged the hell out of me by saying that I'm going to steal the answer. So, thanks for that. But
go ahead, do it.
I'm going to gladly. I'll be Robin Hood.
There you go.
Yeah, it's really not about all I'm going to do, 30% of the sims and you'll do 40 and we'll each contribute 20 plays in this formations. And, really, it is on a week by week, case by case basis. The nice thing about us is we all have different ways that we approach the game. I think we all have different football philosophies in general. And the great thing is in our coaching room, it's kind of a great place for those ideas to collide, and then we can see what works, what doesn't work. And Andy's completely right that at the end of the day, we're, human beings that have to live a life outside of the simulated gridiron. I mean, I just moved 2 weeks ago, so, I wasn't necessarily very available. So sometimes, some person will kind of step up and be the lead guy who is handling the book, or, sometimes it's a very collaborative effort. But at the end of the day, I think, this probably, AJ, based on what I've heard from Eddie about the struggles getting other people to coach in Arizona. If you can get anyone to contribute, it's a blessing. And I will welcome anyone who would run. If someone runs 5 minutes of a sim 1 day a week, 1 week ever, I would bless them, because it's hard enough getting people to actually want to contribute in the first place, to take time out of their real lives to play around on a, pixels on a screen on a fantasy football game. So I just think we're so lucky to have all the people that we do here. I can't say enough how lucky we are to have the amount of people we do, because it lets us, really take the load off sometimes and be able to handle the stresses that come up over the season and over our lives. JW's in the ER every week, so we got to cover for that. So
damn.
I'm sure when Ellie comes on, she'll tell you all about it. But JW he's basically like the glass bones paper skin guy from SpongeBob. So
not that.
We got to have someone around to be able to
laugh.
cover.
But I feel like he need to be put in a bubble. JW, what's going on with you, sweetheart? You need one of those bubbles. All right, guys. So, I mean, the thing is, one of you guys will come out being champions. Whichever team does win that honor, you can come and take over my show. It's going to be next week, so you'll be taking over my 399th show. So I wish both of you the best of luck. But without giving away too much, guys, I want to know, how do you plan on beating each other? Wait, before you say that, are the books submitted yet?
No.
Woof. Okay, maybe I can't answer that one.
Oh, Casper's late. His was supposed to be submitted already. Oh, that's really tough.
Oh,
you
no.
should just send it in now, bud. Just send it in now.
You know what? Maybe.
So I'm
Go
trying
ahead.
to figure out how I would ask this question without you guys giving away too much. What would be one point of focus that you guys will be concentrating on to get the win on Saturday?
Go ahead, Casper.
Okay. I talked about it with you earlier, AJ. At the end of the day, to me, football is about not making mistakes. You know, it's impossible to be perfect, but anyone who can make less mistakes than the team opposing them is going to put themselves in a better position to win. You know, you don't have to take notes, Andy. I know you've seen the 28 interceptions, I think it is, that Ethan's thrown this season. So.
Can you slow down a little bit? I'm better with pictures.
Better with pictures, man. I can't draw to save my life. Are you kidding me?
That's all right. Just if you share your screen and pull up your playbook.
Fair enough.
But not making mistakes. You're good, baby.
You're good.
Not making mistakes.
Yeah, and I've been really happy with the way that we've kind of come into the postseason with Ethan and with the team in general. I think we've played very solid fundamental football, which is hard to do in this game. And I think, you know, everyone who coaches knows it. I don't think the people who just watch the games really understand how hard it is to actually get a football team to look like a proper football team on the field in this game, because there are so many little things that can just completely torpedo a game at any time. There's so many quirks in this 22-year-old game now that just completely massacre any chance of actually seeing like a good football play or a good drive or a good game. So I think we've been really happy with how we've been playing this last couple of games in particular. Just across the whole season, to be fair, I think we've been very resilient, very clutch at certain times when we've needed to be. And I think the postseason has kind of been us at our biggest strengths right now so far this season. So I'm really excited to take on Vancouver because I think they challenge us in a few ways that I think other teams haven't so far this season. And I think it's going to be really exciting for the entire coaching staff probably to get to play in a championship's an honor, but to play in a chess match type of game like I think this is going to end up being, I think is very, very exciting.
Yes, sir. I think this will definitely be a true test for you guys this season.
But I will say, at the end of the day, for me at least, and I know there's 30 other coaches in the room, so, you know, take it with a grain of salt. For me, at the end of the day, I am a gambler. So I think we are going to take some chances to roll the dice at some point in the game. So, you know, whether we win or lose, you know, we're going to make it entertaining, I think.
Okay. Ethan Flowers at running back. I'm just kidding. But
I think you mean Johnny Kim at running back, you know. We gotta get T-Pat out there.
Right? But you know, but before you say something, Andy, congratulations to Ethan. I think there was no mistakes, right, in the semifinals?
Yeah, no, he was 3 touchdowns, no picks, which is just hearing that makes me so happy.
Speaking of which, we talked him right up. What's up, Ethan? Good to see you, baby doll. All right, Andy. What about you, sweetheart? One point of focus.
I mean, you know what, Ashley? You've been such a great host, and you're always out here making the show for the people. I'll give you 2. You know, I don't need. There's no need for me to hold back, right? I'll give you 2 points of emphasis. First, we want to score points, right? We want to put points on the board. That is how we want to do it. And then second, I would like to keep Detroit from scoring points. I want them to not score points, right? So kind of the opposite of what our game plan is, right? You know, to Casper's point, you know, we're a gambling team too. Like, we like to have fun. We like to figure out ways that we think will give us an advantage that, you know, maybe the average person doesn't see or expect. And so I think, you know, the fun part about playing a team like us is you can look at 14 weeks, 15, 20 weeks of our playbook. And who's to say we don't pull something out from a year ago or 2 years ago, right? So there's just a bunch of, we're trying to win the game. And however that's got to happen is how it's going to happen. And we're gonna get creative. We're gonna get fun. And we're going to try and win, by whatever means necessary. So I think it'll be a chess match is a great word, but I think it'll also just be, two teams putting their best on the field and trying to catch each other off guard a little bit. So, hopefully that those are enough buzzwords to keep Casper up and awake all night again tonight, working and trying to go through the plays. And so it should be
I'm going
fun.
to the movies after this, man. I'm going to go see that new Backrooms movie.
I heard that was good.
There you go. Good for you.
See, look, he's like, yeah, go ahead. Matter of fact,
I hate horror movies. It's going to scare the shit out of me, but
perfect.
We live. I saw something, an old comment from Chad that I thought kind of epitomized what I hope this game is going to be pretty well. He said these two teams went to the Punch Palace today, and I was like, you know what? I think if we could describe the championship game afterwards as two teams coming to the Punch Palace, I think we got to be pretty happy.
Oh my God! So what you're both are telling me, and what's up, Neil? Good to see you, baby. Neil Rivers in the chat. Yeah, it's gonna be a hell of a game. So what y'all both are basically telling me is that you're going to be implementing new things that none of you guys have seen in any of the sims. So what you're doing is going to be all for nothing. Is that what you're saying? Because y'all all just changing up everything. So y'all don't even know what y'all going to be doing. Huh? The sims that you're running right now is irrelevant.
I think what we like to do in Vancouver, we call it a guest playbook. And we just pick a random player on our team to submit the playbook each week. So I still haven't chosen who it is for this week. So we'll see. Could be fun.
Oh, shit. Okay. You either going to win by 62 or lose by 62, depending on who it is.
Well, all right. I know we're just joking here, but let's not go crazy.
I say, who's the lose by 62 candidate, do you think, AJ?
Damn.
Oh, there 62? We go. I like this, Casper. Let's turn the questions back on her.
Yeah, fight back.
Who would lose by? Well, I'll tell you what. I've never seen Vancouver. I've never seen Vancouver out of all my years here lose by a large margin like that. Indianapolis Ram was when y'all was Indy.
That's true.
So technically, I guess that would be saying Detroit, right? I guess had the. I mean, if things don't go right, they will score 62 on you. Ellie, we're gonna talk about this in a second, honey. If you don't do what you're supposed to do, baby, it's gonna be 72. How many points have you actually scored, Andy? Was it 74?
I tell you what, AJ, I don't remember. There was a Houston game from like season 10 or 11 or 12 or 13 or 14, somewhere in there. It was in the 60s or 70s. And, I felt bad about, I feel bad about that. It's not what I'm intending to do. I respect all these coaches so much. There's no part of me that takes joy in beating a team by like 20 or 30. It's unfair to them. And usually it's this, like Casper said, it's this old game or the old game we used to play on, kind of exposing a wound that a coach, whether on purpose or not on purpose, made a mistake that then meant that the score got ran up like that. That's never my intention as a coach to embarrass another team. It's really not that fun for me. I like I said, I would rather win by I think max is like 2 scores, 3 scores. Anything above that it kind of puts a sour taste in your mouth. You're kind of like, 62, I wanted one more touchdown. That was really all I was looking for at that point, just for fun.
Yes.
But the minute I knew that we weren't getting that one more touchdown, I was like, all right, this is gross. I don't like this anymore.
Y'all are nuts.
Well, you're more sentimental than me, Andy. If I could beat Chicago 5,000-0, I'd do it every week and twice on Sundays.
That's aggressive.
Man, we got these rivalries, man. We gotta establish the dominance.
All right, gentlemen. Final thoughts for both of you this evening. In closing, I'm going to get my girl Ellie up here. She's been waiting so patiently in the back for us. I'm going to start with you first, Casper. What are some parting words that you want to give us on this championship eve? So to speak.
Really, I have to say thank you to everybody, everyone that I've ever worked with, everyone who's ever played with a team that I'm with, or under me as a coach or anything like that. Anyone who's been anywhere around me, because when I joined the league back in November 2023, I think it was, I was about 2 weeks after I gotten laid off from my first job out of college. It was kind of the first time in my life that my life had ever like hit a speed bump. It hadn't gone the way that I'd planned it. And getting to be a part of the community, getting to play on the teams that I've played on, play with the people I've played with, even that first minor league season in Chicago where, we went undefeated and won the championship, just, getting to be with the people that I've been with, getting to meet the people that I've met throughout the league and over the last 5 seasons is a privilege. And they've really gotten me through some very tough times in my life. So I just want to say thank you to everyone here, everyone in the SFL, even the people that you like to yell at sometimes, like, I don't know, your TJ Harpers or your Xavier Rowe the Thirds. Even the people who make it kind of upsetting sometimes make it the community that it is. And I owe a lot to the SFL. I've met a lot of great people. I have friends that I think hopefully I'll get to have for the rest of my life because of this community. So I'm very grateful. And I just hope that at the end of the day, that I can continue being a part of the community. And hopefully I can do it as a SFL champion. I got the minor league ring. I want to add a major league ring. So
Hey, gotta love it, man. Thank you, Casper, for your time. I really appreciate you.
Yeah.
What about you, Andy? Do you have did you get a ring as a rookie?
No, the last season's ring was my first ring of all time. I was on the Carolina Skyhawks for a long time, and there were seasons where we were probably the farthest thing from getting a ring that you could name. But we had a lot of fun. We learned a lot. And then in Vancouver, I've just been scratching and clawing. And last year, no point to Detroit there on that one. Last year was the first year we were able to do it. I think, my parting message, I think last year my parting message was just kind of about trying to grind and find my way to the championship. And I think it might have even had, I can't remember exactly. I'm probably making it up. Probably something about, for those players that have never made a championship, continuing to work and grind and find, areas and homes for them that they can, find their way to a game like this, right? Because, no situation is perfect, right? Each team has its own unique positives and negatives and different areas. But, this season, I think I kind of want to put the emphasis on the league as a whole. And, there's a lot of, I'm going to try and tread carefully here. There's a lot going on in the world, right? And there's a lot of reasons to feel down or frustrated or, there's a lot of negativity. And I think the SFL for me is just a place where you can kind of escape all that and just have a community that, is there for you, whether it's a mental health thing or whether it's just a world outside of what you got going on in your daily life. And I think that's so important. And, it feels a little bit different than the community we probably had 5-6 seasons ago. In some ways that's sad, and in other ways it's a great change. But I'm very excited about the future of the SFL, and I think there's a lot of franchises that are changing cities, changing names, changing ownership groups, and I just I want to put out there that I'm going to be here, right? Andy is going to be in the SFL for as long as the SFL exists. I'm going to outlast it. It's unfortunate that that's how it has to go, but my undying love for the SFL. Listen, I might not always be running the defense. I might not always be coaching the team even, but I'm going to be here, and Vancouver is going to be a team in the league, and we are going to keep, pushing this thing. And I hope that for everyone in the league that loves this league as much as I do, that we band together and continue to grow it. I think that's the biggest part, is that the SFL has so much room for growth, so much room for new superstars, new players. And when I look at Vancouver, I just try and make it a home for people who want that type of thing in their life. Ezekiel Bear is one of my favorite stories. He joined us, I think, through the draft or shortly thereafter. And he said, I don't care what you need me to do. I'm a receiver for Vancouver. And he started, I think, as receiver 4. And then now he's worked his way up to receiver 3. And he very well next season might be receiver 2. But each season he comes back with the same mindset that, like, it doesn't matter what you want me to do, I'll do it. And I think the league has so much room for people like that who just want to be a part of the SFL. And I know there's people in everyone's lives who would love to be a part of this thing. And I hope we continue to spread it to those people, because, Casper talked about the community and how important it is. The community is what we make it. And the more we can grow it, the more we can build it up, the more fun it's going to be for all of us. So Vancouver's going to be here. Andy Hamilton's going to be here. If you need to reach me, my Discord DMs are open to an extent. Don't send me anything that I have to report to AJ. I'll see y'all in Denver, and hopefully with 2 fat rings on my finger, not just 1.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Well, we gonna see. We gonna see. Great stuff, gentlemen. Thank you so much for your time. It is a pleasure to be a platform for you all to be able to let us know how you really feel, and really, I wish both of you much success. All right.
Thanks, AJ.
Yeah, thanks, Ashley.
Remember, whoever wins, I'm gonna see y'all next Thursday. Okay? See you, baby. You don't want to go nowhere, huh? Hi, baby. How are you?
I
You're
am
muted.
so good. How are you?
Good. I know you were busting up that scenes back there. I saw you back the whole time.
Oh, those 2 crack me up. Honestly, they crack me up.
Indeed. You have a good group of people that surround you. I will say that, and I see all of your, almost like the whole team is in the chat right now. So you've always had that growth and, that support. But first of all, look at that adorable kangaroo wrangler. Okay, then.
Oh my god. So,
What's up, Jason?
This is a joke that Mike Daggs started way back somewhere in the annals of the SFLM stats channels. And it's just been a running joke that has followed me for the last 3 months. I can't escape this joke. It's become part of my core identity. I'm sorry. I do actually have kangaroos in my front yard at the moment. So,
girl, don't go out there messing with them. They box. Don't do that.
To Australia. Yeah, welcome to Australia. No, I don't. I won't mess with them. No.
I've seen them when they stand up. Nah, I don't want no
I
parts,
do not
man.
have a death wish, contrary to popular belief. I do not have a death wish. But yeah.
So before we get into the SFLM things, let's talk a little bit about Detroit football. I mean, you are in the championship, and I know that you have been running defense all season. So my question to you is, how are you feeling right now? Like, this is the big show. This is for all the marbles.
I will not lie. I am very nervous. This is my first season as a professional coach. I did one season as a minors coach, also doing defense. I will be the first person to tell you that coaching in the SFLM versus coaching in the SFL, vastly different environment. Vastly different. There is a lot more pressure up in the majors to get it right than there is in the minors. The minors is kind of a place for you to experiment and to learn. But when you come up to the SFL, you kind of have to have your ducks in a row and kind of have a generalized idea of what the hell you want to do.
Yes.
Which is hilarious for me because I never know what I want to do week by week. So I just kind of throw shit at the wall and hope it works. And somehow we've ended up 10-2. So, I mean,
You're doing something right. You guessing
I
right.
guess, yeah. I'm doing something right. So,
So, I mean, go back to the semifinals game. What was your take on that game?
I spent the entire game panicked. So I'm not gonna lie. I
Okay.
sat there, I was so nervous watching the back and forth trade-off between our offense and Mexico City's offense. I was sitting here thinking, oh my God, this defense is not working. Like what have I done? What have we done as a team? What is going on right now? And then somehow suddenly we caught an extra stride and that was it. So I spent that entire game very, very nervous.
How many
Very
sims?
nervous.
How many sims, or how much time would you say you spend on SFL in 1 week? Not SFLN, just handling Detroit.
I am probably one of the coaches that spends the least amount of time simming and the most amount of time theory crafting in kind of the wings. For me, I leave all the simming to Robert Henson, JW, Portia. I leave sims up to Casper. I'm more of a, I'm going to create this book. I'm going to run a single test to see if I like the way it looks. If I like the way it looks, it goes into the room for testing. So I don't sit behind my screen and run 10 million sims. Just because obviously with me also running the SFLM, I don't have that kind of time.
Right.
So I don't have that.
Which is one of the things. Which is one of the things I was thinking about. I'm like, how do you manage having that responsibility of all of the rookies and how everything goes and answering all the tickets and all of that for that, and you still make time for, everything else?
Yeah. It's, for me, it's a matter of just balancing it, having a to-do list by my computer every single day of the daily things that I need to get done. And then, and then the things that, probably need a little bit of extra attention. Jesus Christ, Henson. He is not wrong though. Like honestly, watching The Sims and trying to figure out why your book isn't working the way you want it to work is, it ages you. It's bad.
It is. I got some right here. Right up. Well, you probably can't see it now, but they there. They're there.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I feel it. So if you had to, like, I know we heard all the other guys, if they had one game that they can get back this season, which one would it be? Do you have a game of those two that you all lost that you really wish that you could get back?
Honestly, I will kind of agree with the majority of my coaching staff. I think the Miami game is one that we definitely should have won. We should have been a little bit more careful. We should have taken it a little bit more seriously. We did experiment quite a bit with that book. We did throw a lot of things out there that we thought would work. They worked in Sims, and then obviously come game day, it didn't happen. And That is, at the end of the day, something that I think a lot of people don't realize too. You can run 10,000 sims, but they honestly could mean next to nothing come game day, because the result will 9 times out of 10 never be the same.
First of all, Ethan, you've been through enough. You've been through enough.
Hey,
But
look,
you
I'm not
did
going to
have
be
a
hating
really
on the
good
QB.
team.
Like,
Right. I was gonna say this past game, you actually didn't throw any interceptions. You got 3 touchdowns, brother. So I'm proud of you, honey. I'm proud of you. But yeah, and that was one of the things that I was kind of thoughtful of when I was, telling you, and I was talking to JW and all of you about us with all of the many responsibilities, it's very important for you to take care of yourself. And try your best, because the world's already doing this thing, right? And then you come here and you want to make a difference. Then you got people that don't necessarily agree with what you're doing, and then you got to battle with that, So you have been doing your thing, and I'm really, really proud of you on that one.
Thank you.
Oh, I was a bee's knees last game. It looked like Ashley Jackson out there. You know what? Ashley Jackson has thrown her share of interceptions. Trust me. I think it was one season I had more interceptions than touchdowns, brother. So it happens. It happens. No. But you learn and you grow. So what's some advice? Anybody that's looking, because we want people to come coach, right? We want the help. Like we, as Arizona, we've been looking for people that will want to come help coach. But you just can't find that, or you can't find people that want to do it full time. So what is some advice that you would like to offer people that's listening right now that would like to become a coach, but maybe just don't have a good understanding of that?
I would say pick up the emulator, pick up the game, go into the playbook manager and put some plays together. Play with it. Experiment a little bit. Don't take it so seriously when you're stepping into the coaching room for the first time. Don't take it that seriously. It is, at the end of the day, a game, and it is supposed to be fun for everyone, not just the people who, play the game and don't actually do the behind the scenes stuff. Nice. My other piece of advice, I guess, would be do not treat it as a full-time job. Don't do that, because you will kill your love for it so quickly. Do not treat it like a full-time job. If you want to treat it as a hobby that you spend a few hours a day on, then sure. But do not make it a full-time job. Don't do that to yourself. You do yourself a great disservice doing that. You will kill your love of the game. And that is not something that I think any of us really want to see.
Yeah.
But I would pick up the game, pick up the emulator, step into the playbook manager, and just test things. Just try it.
Oh yeah. My very first playbook I put together, I lost 41-6. But guess what?
Yeah.
We scored 6 points. I was so happy because Eddie was like, we gonna lose and you ain't gonna score a thing. Oh, okay.
I mean, at the end of the day, right? Like, if you put a playbook together and it scores any points, good job. Yes. Sometimes that is the literal hardest thing that you can do. Sometimes that is quite literally the hardest accomplishment, is just scoring any type of points, whether it be 2 points on a safety, 3 points on a kick, 6 points on a touchdown. As long as you score something, then you've done something good, and then you can build off of that. Right.
And I think and having patience and grace with yourself, most of all.
Yes. Yes.
You're not going to get it. You're not going to get everything right. You're not going to win all the games that you think that you should, but it is whether you have the character to stick with it, and see it through. And then you come out clean on the other side. I was going to ask you, and I've asked you before, so people, the people that don't watch Saturday will at least hear your answer here. So what do you think changed from the time it was Indianapolis Ramblers, now it's Detroit Maulers, and now from the losing ways to the winning ways. What do you think? I heard from Casper it was the players and people wanting to stick around and letting those play bills, those players those bills mesh together to be able to have what you have. Is there anything else that you wanted to add to that?
Honestly, I think rounding out our front office staff, like our coaches, our
Yeah.
scouts, our advisors, I think that has played a humongous role in getting us where we are right now. I think having the locker room environment that we have is also a large part of that, because we have created an environment in the Detroit locker room that makes people want to stay. It makes people have pride in wearing our merch. Like we have created in a sense our own legacy just in that locker room. Not even out on the gridiron, we've created a legacy in the locker room. And I think that is by far and large a very important part of why we are where we are right now. People want to win, and they want to win with us.
It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing, Mom.
Yeah, it is.
Last question regarding SFL for you.
Sure.
What do you feel should be a focal point, without giving too much away? Because I'm sure Andy is.
I'm sure he's listening.
Right. Defensively, what do you feel that you would have to maybe focus on? Obviously, both sides of the ball, but is there one side of the ball that you're a little bit more concerned with than the other? Is it the air attack or is their run game? Because obviously they can score 200 yards on each. So
I think Vancouver is dangerous on both aspects. I think they're very dangerous through the air. I think they're very dangerous in the run as well. I think that for me, as a defensive coordinator, as one of the coaches in the room, I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket.
yeah.
Because if I focus too much on pass defense, then I leave myself open for them to run all over us. If I focus too much on the run defense, then I leave open holes all over the field and they can throw bombs that we will never recover from. So for me, it's a matter of finding the right balance to just be able to shut down the players that we need to shut down. Now, Vancouver has one of the best O-lines in the game, if not the best O-line in the game. It's going to be a challenge, but I think it's going to be a fun challenge, and I'm looking forward to it.
Iron sharpens iron, right?
That's right.
So hope y'all come out clean on the other side, my mama. I
hope so too.
Whoever wins takes over my show, so I want to remind you of
That's
that.
right.
On to SFLM though.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, so you are pretty much you're done with the season, with the SFLM season. You have, I think it's the playoffs coming up now, right?
So we just wrapped up the wild card week.
Okay.
We're just wrapping up wild card week. Next week is semifinals week, and then we'll have our championship game.
Oh, so
yes, ma'am.
In a nutshell, how would you rate this season for SFLM if you had to give it a letter grade? Just for the regular season right now.
For the regular season. Now, am I grading myself on my policies and procedures? Am I rating myself on how the games have gone, how the teams are performing? What am I rating myself on?
All of it, overall.
I give myself a solid B+, I think.
Okay. Why is that?
I think there's some marketable room for improvement in some aspects. Either, me getting on top of my staff to make sure that everything's done in advance and not day of. Obviously, we all have lives, so I'm never going to sit there and begrudge my staff for putting their life first. But I think I could do a better job of being on top of that.
Okay.
I think being open and very clear about expectations at the start of the season is something that I could probably do a little bit better, because we had some misunderstandings and some clarity issues that didn't get cleared up until much later in the season. So I think that is also something I could do a lot better. Outside of that, I think it really just comes down to a lot of the back end stuff. I have finally learned my way around the portal. So I mean, making new players and getting them set up is like a 5-minute job versus a 30-minute job per person.
Right.
So that has been a great thing for me to finally, actually get a handle on. So oh my god.
Who is that?
Man.
Venom? No, Vermont Maple Foxes. Who is that?
Oh man.
You know who that is?
Oh man. Oh my god. I actually don't. I don't recognize most usernames on here. I don't pay that much attention on YouTube, to be real.
So JW said, is that who I think? I don't even know who it is. Wait, first look at the new SFL Vermont Maple Foxes. Y'all got a Maple Fox coming up?
Hey, I didn't
Ellie,
say
you
anything. I do not have a solid 6th team yet for the upcoming SFLM season, just because I do not know and will not know how many players I have to distribute among the teams until after the rookie draft and after the signing period. So I will not know.
Gotcha.
Because
is there
the long and short of it is, so at the moment we have 25 rookies, and a handful of dev players, and we have 6 teams. Most of those SFLM teams have between 4 and 6 actual paying players on them. The rest are all generics. Now, obviously, that is not the healthiest SFLM.
Okay.
I would like to see some more butts in uniforms, like actual people in uniforms on the field. That would be fantastic. Versus having a pile of generics. So for me, it is a matter of trying to figure out how many people I have access to rookie-wise to divvy up among those teams.
Okay.
So a lot of it comes down to the signing period. I need to know how many people are re-rolling into the SFLM, joining for the first time, things like that.
So what have you guys been doing, like some outside marketing to try to draw in more rookies? Like how have you been trying to draw in more rookies to the SFL?
The majority of our marketing comes off of like Swole's Twitter account, the SFLM Twitter account.
Yeah.
I know that there's been people putting feelers out for Facebook. We do rely quite heavily on word of mouth and community.
Yeah.
Because, we don't really have the revenue for like paid ads, because that would help greatly. That would help greatly. But, things like your show, the SFLM shoutouts the UFL has been doing lately has been amazing for publicity for us. So that's been massive. The ad reads during the SFL games, all of that kind of stuff, that all puts attention on the SFLM as well, so every little bit is helpful.
Good deal. And if there's anything else, that we could do, just, if you happens to pop up, just let us know and we'll be able to do it. Like even when we're at the convention. Are you going to make it to the convention? Or?
Sadly, I don't think I am, because IRL has decided it would like to kick me while I'm still down. Sorry. Flights from Australia to Denver at the moment are 2,400 Australian dollars, and that is just the flights. That is not including hotel. That is not including food. That is not including entertainment.
JW, where you at? What, you got 2,400, man? Well, 28 actually, because you got to think about everything else.
Yeah, so
But
it's a bit of a nightmare.
Yeah. Maybe things will turn around. I
I
try to
hope.
remember.
I hope
Yeah.
so.
Because I was
The
really
biggest
looking
thing for me, I think, is the international travel. With how uncertain that has been in the last few months, I think that has been a large part in why I've been so hesitant.
Yeah.
Because like you guys also got to think like there's other Australians that are probably going to get to the convention, but we also have, we have our entry visas into the United States. That's also an expenditure that we need to have, otherwise we don't get there. That's it. We get stopped at the airport and that's it. The currency exchange rate for flights is a nightmare. Hotel costs are also a nightmare. Things like that. So it is a little bit more difficult than I was originally anticipating. I'm actually kind of sad about it too, because I was actually really looking forward to going to Denver and actually meeting everyone. So I really want to meet everyone. But next year for sure. Next year for sure. I have already started putting money aside in an account that's actually going to accrue interest. So we'll see what happens.
Awesome.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I was really hoping that, we would have saw you. And I was wondering, even if there could have been like some kind of a table that we could have set up, or anybody that has any questions about what we do, we can just kind of give them maybe like little flyers or something. But I understand we'll be able to work on that, but word of mouth does help. So if people will just remind their family members or anybody that you're around, like, hey, just come and check us out, we'll get what we need.
The big thing too is this weekend coming, like this weekend that we're about to enter into, is I believe the last progressible SFL weekend. So once that closes, if people want to re-roll into the SFLM, the re-rolls are open.
Okay.
Again, I don't know how many teams I have, but obviously the more people I have interested in re-rolling, the more likely that I will be able to maintain a 6-team SFLM, which is honestly ideally where we want to be.
Got it. And one round for the draft, pretty much, because of 25 players. Okay.
Yeah. So we have an official draft day and we have an official draft time. I just haven't got the article out yet, so you guys will be the first ones to hear it. Our draft day is June 23rd, and that'll be at 8 p.m. EST.
Okay.
Yeah.
June 23rd. Okay, then. Got some time, Hopefully you reached out to everybody you can reach out to. And if you can, Ellie, I've been trying to get the rookies to come on and just like kind of do like little interviews, and I get that sometimes you can get a little stage fright, but you could just tell them that it's just like having dinner with a friend. You just.
It really is though. Like it really is just having a conversation with a friend. Grab a cup of coffee, grab a drink, grab your dinner, sit down and have a chat with AJ.
There you go. And then people, and I want them to understand, like, when people can see a face, or hear a voice to their name, that makes you, people remember you,
Yeah.
So if we can, I would love to be able to do all I can to help you guys. And I know it's a big task for you, but you got a lot of good people working around you.
Yes, I do.
Yes, you do. So that's.
I am very fortunate to have the staff that I have, to have the people around me. I can call them I call them my staff. They are my friends by far and large. We have a good time. Most of our SFLM meetings will get all the business parts out of it, and then it just evolves into a conversation, a coffee table conversation with friends, which is great. So,
which ultimately, this is what we have here. That's our community. I want to know. What was maybe one of your favorite games for SFLM that you witnessed this season? Or if you have a couple of them, that's fine. But what is one that you like, that was an awesome game? These players are going somewhere, like.
This
Alex-
Tuesday's game between San Diego and
Okay.
Philly, that was such an exciting game to watch. I feel really bad for Philly just because, you know, they're elevating to the SFL. They've always been on a playoff run team, and they've always gone really deep into the playoffs. And unfortunately, they met their match with San Diego. San Diego has been on a tear the last few weeks. It's been very exciting to see them finally hit their stride and get some really solid wins. I gotta shout out. I have to shout out our very first week of games with the bongo incident. Thank
I
you,
heard
Alex. That joke has followed us through the whole damn season. Like, yeah, that has followed us entirely.
For those that don't know that story, can you quickly let people know what happened with the bongos?
Oh man. So we got finished with the very first game of the season, and Alex was going to go AFK, and he decided that he was going to have the SFLM pregame music on for the stream because he was going to set the stream going, but with cold mics so that no one could be heard or anything like that.
Right.
But I think he forgot that he was streaming his entire screen and not just the application. So he had this Miku bongo thing going on in the background on YouTube as a joke for the people in the booth to be entertained by while he was gone. And unfortunately, that was broadcast live for like 15 minutes. So, I mean... And there was I believe there was a joke of a petition to make it our actual official pregame music, which I shut down very quickly. I was like, absolutely not. I do not want to be copyright claimed on every single song. No, thank you very much. Yeah, it was simultaneously a nightmare and absolutely hilarious, and probably one of my favorite SFLN moments this season. And that was way back in week 1. So this season has been nothing short of absolutely incredible, especially for my first as commissioner. I'm very, very fortunate that it went as well as it has. So
y'all gonna have bongos as your championship game intro?
No, I'm sure. Okay, Alex and I spent like 4 hours poring over the Universal Music Library that we have access to because Cam is very gracious and has given us access to all of the music library that the SFL has access to. So I went through that for well over several hours with Alex to curate a playlist for the SFLM. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, it does not involve bongos. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You
and
got
yes,
everybody
the music
all
was actually featured on tonight's game, so
I love it. You have access to a lot more
to a
team
lot more.
music.
Hope so.
Oh my God, Ellie. Is there anything else SFLM wise that you wanted the people to know? Like things that we probably have missed while we were kind of concentrating on live for SFL, or things that may have
We're always looking for more broadcasters. We're always looking for SFLM statisticians because we now have the SFLM stats incentives going on, which is actually open to the entire community. It's not just open to SFLM people. Like if you are in the SFL and you want to help your team out or yourself, because the incentive doesn't just have to go to your team bank, it can go to your personal bank as well. You get 20K per side of the sheet that you do. You get 40K if you run it solo. And while it might not seem like a lot of money, it adds up.
Yes.
So
we know.
It adds up.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, like we don't have as many SFLM games as SFL, so like the stats slots do fill up very quickly. But I ping the same stats roll that everyone else gets pinged for the pro games. So it's just a matter of looking at those pings and, you know, jumping on the wagon.
So what do you have to say for those people that are apprehensive because they feel like they're gonna mess up, that they feel like they're gonna
Come
fail?
shadow. If you're not sure how to do the stats, I offer the ability to shadow every single game. Even if you've already shadowed once, if you're still not sure, come and shadow again. Come and sit in the booth with us. I mean, hell, I'm not opposed to running a practice game and having practice stats going on days that I'm free. So that's always an option as well. So another thing too is if you really want to get into stats and like you really want to practice, go and re-watch the games and use that as your stats practice.
Yes.
And
Yes.
yeah, we've got, as Alex has said, we've got great people in the back to help out and that correct errors all the time.
You know, a good idea that I just kind of thought of while you were talking is that maybe there should be like a clinic. So once everything kind of quiets down, you know, for the SFLM and for the SFL, maybe there should be like a coaching clinic or maybe a statistician's clinic or a broad class clinic that will give people the tools they need to feel more confident. Like when I tried to broadcast, everybody has their word that they overuse. You know, it's just mine was beautiful. You know, so I just kept saying beautiful, and I was like, "Whoa, this is football. I gotta find a different word." You know.
Yeah.
So I think to be able to have like little classes, maybe one or two. You don't have to do a whole bunch, but like to get people confident and knowing what they can do. Maybe get a list of words or things of that nature that you can kind of substitute. You know. I think that'd be great, and I think more people will be confident and wanting help. So, all right, baby.
Yeah,
so,
agree.
are there any other notes, any last words that you would like to let everybody know while we are here tonight?
Definitely keep an eye on the website. The SFLM draft article will either be out later tonight or tomorrow. It will have all of the information that you guys need to know, including the list of draftable rookies.
Okay.
The order in which the draft will be done, so the team order and the monetary value. We have a couple of exciting things going on with the draft, including some new rules and some new eligibilities. So that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
All of that will be outlined in that article. Obviously, as always, if anyone has any questions, my DMs are always open. Just know that if you message me at 3:00 in the morning, my time, it might take me a minute to get to it because, you know, I'm dead ass asleep.
No worries.
Outside of that, you know, just keep an eye on the minors because we are the future of the SFL. We are producing the next great talents for the SFL. And if you're not already paying attention to the SFLM, you should be.
Indeed, baby. You know, I don't know what's up with your team can't read. Is all Detroit
No,
can't
honestly,
read? What's happening here? Like,
that doesn't surprise me at all. They can't read. I mean, I can't read either, so.
I feel like everybody in the chat done said I can't read it.
Look, we use picture books in Detroit. Thank you.
Well, obviously it's working. You're doing something. You're 10-2. You know, sure, and you know been winning everything. So, but yeah, this was awesome. But one more. Okay, I did say this is gonna be the last question, but I do have one more. Okay. So take us in the life of SFLM commissioner. I've asked Cam this before. I think this was like one of my very first questions that I ever asked him. So yeah, let us hear it.
So an average day for me is I am usually up around 8:30 a.m. I need coffee before I can function, which is why I have in my Discord profile that my day technically doesn't start till 9 a.m. my time. So I will not answer any questions before 9 a.m. my time. Just because that's just no, thank you. Outside of that, it is usually checking over the welcome channel, welcoming new players in, confirming subs through the sub log, getting those players made in the portal, sending out all of their details, getting them assigned to a team. And then from there, it is address any comments, concerns that people have for me, check in just to make sure that everything's running smoothly. And once that's done, then the SFLM commissioner brain gets turned off and the SFL coach brain gets turned on. It's a lot. It's a lot. And then if I'm not in SFL coach mode, I'm usually in LEDOMIS mode, which is everything else. Which is, you know, my life here in Australia. I spend time with my partner. I spend time with my friends. I played numerous amounts of video games to try and distract myself from the busy work. And when I'm not doing that, I'm usually working on business plans and freelance graphic stuff. So there is never a dull moment.
Clearly, I'm trying to figure out where you have time for all of this to be so. And you have a job, a normal like.
So I don't have a normal 9 to 5. I work from home. I work on my own schedule, so that does afford me a lot of flexibility. I have a business degree, so I have a degree in business operations and administration. So I do business analytics and business plans for people who need help. I do freelance graphic work. I write in my spare time because I'm an artistic creative at heart, so I get bored very easily. I'm constantly working on things. I'm a hobby photographer. I have been for the last 22 years. I do not yell at them. Oh my God.
I believe you.
and then in between all of this stuff, we have game nights for the Maulers. We have game nights for the Maulers, and you know, it's gotten to a point where we've even gotten some of our friends from other teams to join us for things like Jackbox. There was a Forza Horizon night the other night, which was honestly hilarious to watch.
Oh my God.
Watching your teammates trying to run each other off the road in Japan is actually hysterical. I
like that.
There's been a lot. There's been a lot. So
well,
it's good fun. My life is a party. I'm here for it.
Yes, dear. And you know, I asked the question, and I, you know, that is a lot. That's definitely a lot. So definitely lean on your partners and all of that.
I do.
And try to take care of yourself, babe, because it's easy to go and go and go, and you got to be there for everybody and everything, and then you break down. And I don't want to see that on you. I don't want to see that for you, baby.
I've got some good people behind me who remind me to take breaks every so often. You know, I've got my partner. I've got JW. You know, he's constantly telling me, take 5 minutes for yourself, take a break. You know, he should take his own friggin' advice. But I've got Robert Henson. I've got Portia Henson. They're always, you know, telling me to take a break. They're always checking in on me, asking me if I'm okay. Alex usually sends a message every day just to see if I'm all right.
Nice.
My coaches are always checking in on me. Teammates too. So I got good people.
Okay, you know, I had to. I'm like everybody's mom. I had to ask. You know.
Well, it's definitely appreciated.
Indeed. If I go to Australia, where's the first place I should visit?
Well, it really depends on what you want to do, but obviously, I would say come see me first.
Oh, duh. Yeah.
Duh.
First.
Yeah, come see me first, and then we'll figure it out from there.
All right, that works.
I mean, like, I live on the Sunshine Coast in Queensland, so there's plenty of stuff to do here.
Oh yeah, that's just like home there, because it's nice and sunny out there right now. So
it's pretty sunny here too right now, amazingly.
Hopefully one of these days I will be able to go out and visit. Oh my God, Robert. We just do it so we don't get fined.
That's a running joke as well.
Ellie, what is happening? And don't go to Australia. It's the prison. Oh Lord. What is...
Oh, I love my team. I love my team. I love my team.
You gotta keep telling yourself.
I do love my team. Sometimes
I
I
know.
question what they've had for breakfast, but I love my team. Or what the hell is in their coffee cups? Like,
It's not just coffee.
mine is, sadly.
Well, it's still early for you. I hope it's nothing in there.
I mean, it's midday. It's 5 o'clock
Oh.
somewhere, right? Like,
You can have Bailey's.
yeah,
Technically,
there
it's
you go.
cream. It's
See?
technically it's cream for your coffee. Okay. All right. Well, listen, baby. I wish y'all the best of luck. May the
Thank
best
you.
team win. Either way, I think you guys have a really, really good backstory on, the progression phase of Indy going to Detroit and all of that. It's up to y'all. Do your thing, and I'm
That's
going to be
right.
sitting on the sideline waiting for whoever is going to come out victorious, baby. But I'm looking forward to having another conversation with you soon. If there's any big changes or anything else that you want to announce for the SFLM or even
Yes,
Detroit,
ma'am.
I'm here for you, baby, always.
Always.
All right, love you. Get you some rest if you can, and I'll talk to you later.
I'll try my best. And
Right.
don't forget to tell us who your pick is.
I'm going to do that right now.
I'm curious.
What do you want to stay right here?
Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
Now, I will say that I did have an attitude with both Vancouver and Detroit, because when I said if I could have any games back, though, you guys did come to mind first. But
Sorry.
But considering everything that's been happening, considering both teams, both of you, this is going to be an excellent game. It is going to be about which defense is going to be dominant because both of you guys have the capacity and the players to score points. But it will rely heavily on the defense being able to stop. I'm actually gonna go with Detroit to win.
Okay.
I think that you guys have a lot of good people helping. I think that the situation is right. And iron sharpens iron, you're already 10-2, so you have what it takes, obviously, to win. But whatever you do, don't let Andy go up 30 points and the second quarter hadn't even started yet, because you might have a problem. But
we'll try our very best, that's for sure.
I am selecting Detroit to win. Ethan, you need to have a clean game, dear, because if anything is going to need to be clean tonight, you need to throw less interceptions than Christian. I know both of y'all have the potential to do that because you both like to throw. But it's going to be a good game to watch, and I wish y'all the best of luck, Ellie. All right, baby?
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. I'll see you soon.
See you soon.
All right, boo. All right, everybody. So that was it. That was it, man. It is a very difficult thing to pick between two great teams of that nature. And of course, my mind was going to go with Vancouver because they are the current champions, right? You gotta beat the best to be the best. And Detroit will definitely have to do that. So it's going to be interesting to see how everything works out. Just give us a good show. That's all I'm asking. Give us a good show. Let us end end the season 26 on a great note with a great game. Okay, guys. Good luck to everybody. Thank you for tuning in this evening. Thank you, chat, for keeping it live and keeping it entertaining. You guys were amazing. Thank y'all for being here. Please put your goodbyes in the chat, and I'll be happy to run them across the screen as we have our final song of the evening. But I am looking forward to bringing you another great podcast next week, y'all. Stay safe. Share the well. For Ellie, for Casper, and for Andy, we're out. See you Saturday.